What if I told you that hiring a contractor in Mexico could expose your company to labor lawsuits, tax penalties, and social security liabilities? Many international companies assume that if someone signs an independent contractor agreement, they're protected. In Mexico, that's simply not true. Authorities don't care what the contract says, they care about how the relationship actually works, and the consequences can be massive. If they determine your contractor is really an employee, you face massive worker misclassification risks, tax exposure, and intellectual property loss. In this video, I'll explain the biggest risks foreign companies face, including reclassification costs and permanent establishment exposure. Mexico is one of the highest risk countries in Latin America when it comes to contractor classification. The reason is simple. 3 different authorities can become involved at the same time: labor, social security, and tax authorities. All can investigate the same relationship. The result is that a single contractor arrangement can trigger multiple forms of liability simultaneously. It's a perfect storm of compliance risk. From social security audits to retroactive benefit claims, the scorecard for misclassification in Mexico is consistently high risk. Mexico's labor framework revolves around one key concept: subordination. In simple terms, authorities ask, who controls the work? If your company controls how, when, and where work is performed, that individual may be considered an employee regardless of the contract. High-risk indicators include fixed schedules, daily supervision, and mandatory meetings. These look like employment, not contracting. Using a company email, appearing on an org chart, or receiving performance reviews are all red flags for Mexican authorities. Authorities also examine whether the individual is economically dependent on your business. For instance, working exclusively for you for years. If a developer works exclusively for your company with ongoing supervision, authorities will likely view that relationship as employment. One reason Mexico is particularly challenging is the sophistication of its enforcement system. Several agencies can investigate at once. The Ministry of Labor, or STPS, can investigate employment practices to ensure workers aren't being deprived of their rights. Then there's the Social Security Institute, IMSS, which audits employers who fail to register their workers and pay contributions. Finally, the Tax Authority, SAT, operates one of the world's most advanced electronic invoicing and tax analytics systems. Authorities can cross-reference invoices, tax filings, and employment records to identify relationships that look inconsistent with contractor status. This became even more critical after Mexico's outsourcing reforms, which increased scrutiny on any arrangement avoiding labor obligations. Now let's talk about what happens when authorities decide your contractor was actually an employee. This is where things become expensive. The worker may become entitled to years of unpaid benefits, like the 13th month bonus, vacation pay, and vacation premiums. You also face claims for profit sharing over time and massive retroactive Social Security contributions, plus interest and penalties. And don't forget the tax authorities. They may pursue payroll tax deficiencies and withholding failures for the entire duration. Let's look at the numbers. A contractor earning $60,000 per year who is misclassified for 3 years could easily generate liability equal to 1.5 to 3 times their annual compensation once all costs are added up. Many foreign companies overlook another major risk: permanent establishment, also known as PE. A permanent establishment can arise when a contractor effectively acts on behalf of a foreign company inside Mexico. Technical roles are generally lower risk. The risk moves to medium when a contractor takes on operational management or decision-making authority over local teams. Risk is high for sales reps who negotiate contracts or roles that represent the company publicly to local customers. The highest risk is a country manager with contract signing authority. This can trigger full Mexican corporate taxation for your entire business. Another risk many overlook is intellectual property ownership. You might assume that if you paid for it, you own it. In Mexico, that's dangerous. Under Mexican law, employers generally own work-related inventions created by employees during their employment. But for contractors, ownership may remain with the creator unless there is a specific, legally binding assignment in place. Without a properly drafted agreement, this can create serious problems during fundraising, acquisitions, or audits. Not every contractor relationship carries the same risk. Let's look at the risk matrix to see where your roles fall. Genuinely independent consultants are low risk, but long-term integrated roles like developers move into the medium to high risk category. Full-time remote contractors are high risk, and country managers or anyone signing contracts are in the extreme risk zone. The key takeaway is this: Mexico is not a country where companies should casually rely on long-term contractor arrangements. If a worker is integrated and supervised, the safer solution is employment through an employer of record or a locally established entity. An EOR manages payroll and compliance for you. The combination of labor, social security, and tax risks makes Mexico a challenging jurisdiction. It pays to be compliant from day one. At Global Hiring Guide, we are committed to helping you build teams with confidence, ensuring compliance and peace of mind across every border. If you want to learn how companies are building teams without borders, subscribe and like our videos to follow the Global Hiring Guide series. Please let us know in the comments if you would like information on one or more countries that have not yet been published, and we will do our best to get the information for you. See you in our next video.